My name's Elizabeth, but you can call me Liz, and in today's video, we have more Theories and Legends Halloween version. So if you want to see that, keep on watching. But first, let's intro it.
Mój dans ma grab, więc chodź do tańca, gdy krok to szansa i los nam gra. Mam duszę starca, nie umywalca na
I love nightcore. But first, listen to this. Now let me show you the male version. So first of all, before I start, I know that it's October 12th and I'm 2 days late, but I wanna say that October 10th is the Mental Health Awareness Day, so it's something that I feel like we should pay more attention to in our friends or family or just people we know or we don't know in general, because I feel like it's something that isn't talked about, that's like just kind of like brushed to the side, but nowadays it's like getting more recognition and people are talking more about it. So just wanted to say October 10th is Mental Health Awareness Day, and there are many sites and please talk to people. And yeah, I know it's 2 days late, but I just wanted to, I don't know, talk about it, I guess. Since it's October, my friend Naomi, so shout out to Naomi, my friend Naomi was like, oh, you should do something cool for like this whole Halloween, like the month of October, something for Halloween. So I'm gonna do 3 videos. So this one, some beauty gurus makeup tutorial, and something else, because I don't know what else to do. So like I said, Theories and Legends and Halloween edition, because who doesn't love Halloween? I love Halloween. I love fall. I love the cold, winter, spring. I don't like summer. But first I want to share with you a little quote that I found, and it's by the Cuban poet called Eliseo Diego, and it's both in English and Spanish, and I thought I would do a little mix match of Spanglish for you. When the dead are alone, they chat very pleasantly amongst themselves and tell each other things. They tell each other their stories. Debe ser muy interesante vivir dentro de un cementerio y oír cómo los muertos se cuentan sus cosas, sus penas, sus alegrías, todo. So I thought it was just a little like, ooh, spooky, like, you feel me? I'll be sharing with you 5 urban legends and theories that I found on Reddit and other places on the interweb. These may or may not be true, and yeah, let's get started. Okay, number 1 is corrupted candy. So we all have heard that little thing where it says, don't take candy from strangers, yada yada yada, you know, and we all heard like growing up like, oh, people like kids have been abducted into little white vans because some man gave them candy, and they're like, kid, come with me and I'll give you candy. So we have all have heard stories like that, and a lot of this dates back to the abduction of Charlie Ross in 1874, who was actually lured into a horse-drawn carriage with a treat and never seen ever again. So that's like pretty old, like 1874, like children have been taking candy from strangers and disappearing. But like not all candy is like the source of all evil, like, you know.
I trust that little old grandmother that, I don't know, looks frail. Well, actually, I don't know. But, you know, I'd rather trust her than that creepy clown man.
However, in recent years, like parents have found, especially on Halloween night, like after Halloween, they check their kids' candy and they have found razor blades and candy apples and candy corn laced with arsenic. This Halloween, please be careful with your candy and be cautious with your sweets. That's basically what this like little theory, legend, whatever you want to call it, is saying. Be careful with your candy, children. Number 2. So this is very similar to the corrupted candy one, as in this is a blue star tattoo hoax. So parents have been getting like, you know, those weird ass chain emails or chain mails or whatever. That's like,
Please read now. If not, blah, 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 will happen to you or your family.
it's a lot like that, and it says that it claims that ruthless drug dealers are targeting school children. So imagine you're like a parent, your kid is in kindergarten to like 2nd grade, and then you get this message and it's like, oh, drug dealers are targeting children with tiny little blue star tattoos, and apparently they're laced with LSD, which can be absorbed into the skin, and you know, they become wary and the drug dealers come and take your children away. But apparently that habit also claims that they have been strychnine, this word here, which is a deadly rat poison. So it's also like the tattoos are also laced with that, or LSD. And they don't just come in little blue stars. Blue stars is the most like popular, but like they also come in different characters that children would like Spider-Man, Mickey Mouse, etc, etc. Of course, like the parents like freak out and they're like, oh my god, no.
Like if they have little tattoos from school, like Halloween parties, they're like, oh my god, no, you're gonna die or something.
So this is actually false. It has never been proven, and they have never like found any little tattoos laced with anything. Those kind of like the corrupted candy ones where it's like, oh, ha ha ha, let me give parents a scare. So the third one is this picture right here. So this is about a 1962 Idaho Halloween massacre, and apparently in this picture the little black masked dude attended a 1962 Halloween party in Idaho. This picture was taken and then he proceeded to start killing everyone at the party because Halloween. Supposedly he killed 7 people and then got away with it and was never seen again. And supposedly again in 1969, which is like what, 7 years after the murders, the police found the black mask supposedly. And I mean, no one has ever been like, oh my god, this happened, oh my god, this did not happen, holy shit. But I feel like it's like 7 years is a long time to find a black mask. That is very common, so it's an urban legend, because like a lot of people are like no, but some people are still like, but what if? So the 4th and the 5th one, I'm gonna be reading from my computer, because I was like, while I was researching this, I found them so fucking interesting, and I was like, I like how the people wrote it, so I'm just gonna be reading to it and just commenting on it, because it's like from Reddit, and these are both Redditors who have shared their stories, so these are not my stories but theirs. So number 4, it's called My Friend Went Missing in a Pop-Up Halloween Store on Reddit, posted by Black Friday Switch 13. And it's, if you are a fan of Halloween and enjoy dressing up, then you are probably familiar with those pop-up Halloween stores that take over abandoned shopping malls or spots in strip malls for a few weeks each year, only to disappear again until the next year. I live in a small town, and while I was sure we could have gone to the local Walmart, however, my 2 friends and I wanted to try the new pop-up Halloween store, Mr. Fun Times Halloween Extravaganza. Everyone has been chatting about the new place in town, and there were signs hung up all over the place. Come on to Mr. Fun Times Halloween Extravaganza. It was one of those places that took a spot at the end of town in the long abandoned mall that closed the following summer. Rumors was that the city was going to tear it down and build a new parking lot for nearby businesses. That hasn't happened yet, but what was temporarily in its place was the most amazing Halloween store I have ever seen. The place was huge and fit in with a mini carnival inside with clowns with makeup done so well you could swear it was real. They smiled and waved as we walked in front of the store, and they were everywhere. They were made to look exactly like their Fun Time. The store mascot, which was all green with black hair and fangs when he grinned, had little words written on them that said Halloween written on them. It was weird, but for whatever reason it seemed to work. People all over town flocked to the new stores in droves. They sold food like hot dogs, nachos, and cheese. When you entered the store, it was dark except for black lights all over. Most of those green clowns that offered their assistance to help just find you the right costume. I was looking around the store when my best friend Joe gravitated directly towards the weird masks that were painted all white. On his way over, he knocked over a stand with a glass makeup paints, and they spilled all over. All the clowns in the store stopped what they were doing and looked at Joe. Joe smirked and rolled his eyes, not even attempting to pick it up. Dude, aren't you gonna tell someone you did that? I bent down trying to pick up the broken glass, and finally a woman with pink hair and dead eyes came over with a mop. Oh, I'm really sorry. She said nothing to me and just began to clean up the mess as though she were a zombie. I looked around the store, and all the green clowns were now back trying to assist that many customers lined the store. There were kind of a music playing over the loudspeakers, and I tried to concentrate, but it seemed like it was getting louder by the second. Wow, these are weird, Joe said, picking up the white mask with no holes for breathing or eye holes cut out. It looked like one of those masks that you would hang on a wall for decoration but wouldn't wear. Those are boring. Don't tell me you're gonna buy one of those, I said, wiping the white makeup onto my jeans that seemed to stick onto my fingers like slime. What was this stuff made of? I don't know, I just liked the mask. Looked at the mask with a look that guy that was in love. I don't understand it, but then my other friend Eric looked over towards the giant snakes and decided he just had to have one. I rolled my eyes and ignored them while I was walking around the store alone. I eyed a pair of giant glasses that I thought looked kind of funny when someone tapped me on the shoulder. Break it, you pay for it, said the voice. I turned around and looked up at the face greeting me. It was one of those giant green painted clown guys. I'm just looking. Well, if there's something I can help you find, he grinned wide, and I noticed there was something almost unnatural about his mouth, and I saw it had traces of blood dripping from it. I shrugged it off because it was Halloween after all, and I didn't want to seem scared. I'm okay for now. I just thought these giant glasses looked kind of funny. The clown looked at me and stopped grinning. I stared at them for a long while I watched them blinking look in his big black eyes. Then he smiled wide again, and those pointed fangs jutting out like razors, and walked away from me and went to speak to someone else. I watched him unfazed as he walked up to a woman that was standing with a small child, and I saw her look at him and act completely normal as though he was just an average person in a costume. I couldn't shake the feeling that these actors all were really into their jobs, and I guess that made it okay since they were getting into the spirit of the whole season. I heard Joe scream my name, Reggie!
Reggie!
Come here quick. I walked over to where he was standing and looked at him. He was holding the damn stupid mask on his face. Dude, seriously, get something scary. It won't come off. I looked at him and smirked. What do you mean it won't come off? I looked over at Eric, who was standing next to me with a package of fake mustaches. I looked down at the bag and rolled my eyes. What is going on? Eric asked, looking at us both. It won't come off, you guys. This isn't funny, man. Come on, I'm ready to go. I looked at them both and began to walk away. No, please help! Eric yelled that he was making a scene. Parents and other customers were looking at him like he was just some crazy teenager on drugs. Can I be of some assistance? Said one of the green clowns that was now standing in front of me. It won't come off! Eric yelled again. This time I could hear the tears in his voice. I was suddenly very concerned, and the clown just looked down and grinned at Eric. Come with me. I think I may be able to assist you. Joe was still freaking out. I can't breathe! My voice was now growing muffled, and the clown grabbed him by the arm and pulled him towards the back of the store. I followed behind with Eric behind me. Where do you think you are going? We were gonna help you with our friend. Oh, don't worry. We will take good care of him. He pointed to the sign that read, all customers are important to us here at Mr. Funtime. He took Joe with him and shut the door behind. I heard it lock when I ran. Oh, I opened it. It wouldn't budge. What the hell? Eric asked. I guess we just wait. We waited for what seemed hours, but it had only been 30 minutes. We stood there as we watched all the customers in the store shopping and check out. The zombie girl with the dead eyes and pink hair was ringing stuff up, but she was doing it in such a cathartic state that it was apparent to me something was wrong. I looked around the entire store and saw clowns walking people towards the doors, like the ones we were standing by currently. I looked around, and finally the door opened and Joe came out looking as dead as the girl with the pink hair. Eric and I both believed that, but there was something wrong with his eyes. He looked like he was stoned or something. Hey man, you okay? Asked Eric. Let's go, he mumbled. Eric and I didn't waste any time getting out of the store because there was something off about this entire place. When I got home, I was in the mood to watch television and forgot about the events of the afternoon. The next day, I was at school sitting at the lunch table with Eric and Joe as Eric and I talked about sports, which was a usual thing for us. Joe stared blankly at the table. As soon as the bell rang for our 1 o'clock period, he stood up mechanically and walked out of the cafeteria. Eric and I looked at each other. What was wrong with him? He walked down the hallway at the front of the door of the school. Joe, where are you going? He didn't answer. He just kept walking. Eric tried to stop him, but he just ignored us and kept going. We followed him all the way back to Mr. Funtime's Halloween extravaganza. There was no way we were going to back to this place. It creeped me out. Stop. If you break it, you pay for it, said Joe, and he walked into the store, shutting the door behind him. I walked inside, but Joe was nowhere to be found. I looked around, and there were still customers and the green clowns. Eric and I looked at each other and ran through the store trying to find Joe. Joe! I yelled, but I couldn't seem to find him. I saw the same girl with the counter with the pink hair. She just kept bringing items with no expression on her face. "Joe!" Eric called out, and one of the clowns stopped us. "Hey there, better stop running through the store before you break something, or worse yet, you get hurt. Where's Joe, my friend from yesterday?" The clown just stared blankly at us, and I rushed past him as I saw Joe through the same door from yesterday. The door shut behind him, and I once again found myself unable to open it. "Let's go get help," Eric said as we left out the store. The two of us ran to find someone who could help us out. When we went to the local police station, when we got there, Eric and I ran straight to the counter where there was an officer. "Please, you have to help us. Something happened to our friend." The officer looked concerned and allowed us to explain our story. He seemed doubtful, then told us to leave. "There is no such place as Mr. Funtime's Halloween extravaganza. I think you boys need to get home and stop trying to play pranks on the cops before you get into real trouble." Eric and I looked at each other defeated. We walked to the station and then both decided to go back to ourselves to see if we could try again to help Joe. Before we did, however, we stopped at his parents' house to see if he had come back. "I'm sorry, boys. I think you have the wrong house," said Joe's mom as he shut the door. Eric and I were becoming panicked now, and we weren't sure what to do. It was like Joe never existed, the store never existed, and our story was growing colder by the second. We decided to go back to the store. When we got back, there was no sign or trace of that once fun-filled extravaganza ever existed. We walked around the building and looked for any sign at all. We looked at the doors that were now boarded up with wood. The building used to be our local mall. It looked exactly like it did before the pop-up shop moved in. We never saw Joe again after that, but I kept an eye out for Mr. Funtime's Halloween extravaganza in case it pops up somewhere else. Eric and I have each other and we know what happened. The only thing that still bothers me is why didn't his mom even recall Joe's existence? This was just last year, and the other day I had a ray of hope. I noticed the girl with the pink hair sitting on the sidewalk not far from where the store had been. She had been smoking a cigarette and still had the same dead-eye look on her face. I approached her and asked her about Joe. "Sorry, I didn't know what you were talking about because I never worked in any Halloween store. I think you must have the wrong person." "No, I'm sure of it." I saw Miss since I could see a tattoo on her forearm of a green clown with large black eyes. The clown's mouth was wide open, and there was a tattoo of Joe as he was being swallowed whole by a green clown with razor-sharp teeth. I grabbed her arm to get a better look. "Hey, you break it if you pay for it." So that was fucking creepy. But like seriously, like those weird Halloween stores in America are just like creepy sometimes. The last story that I have for you is also found from Reddit, and it is by Armitage26. Again, I'm gonna read it straight from the computer because I feel like they say it in such a good way. I lived in a house from hell for 4 years, from age 11 to almost 16. There was constantly something happening, doors flying open and shut, voices, footsteps, nothing ever stayed where you put it. I was alone there a lot because both my parents work and I was constantly terrified. What's the most gut-level disturbing things though was the little girl in my bathroom. Every time I walked past my bathroom door, which was constantly since it was right outside my bedroom, I saw a little girl with blonde curled hair and rose-colored dress. She stood there staring, looking like a photograph from 1905. I started keeping the door closed so I could walk by without seeing her, but she was always there when I opened it. Once I stepped in past her, I couldn't see her anymore, but I could feel her there. She scared me, but I felt sorry for her because she was trapped there, just like me, but probably forever. As the years went by and things in the house continued to get worse, she started seeming darker. I started feeling like she wasn't really a little girl. I knew there was something ugly in the house, and I felt like I was presenting this sympathetic image to me. Then I started thinking I was completely losing my mind. One day when I was 14, I had a friend from out of town come stay with me for a week. I didn't tell her anything whatsoever about the house because I didn't think she would come if I did. Right after she got there, we were sitting in my room and she left to go to the bathroom. After a minute later, she walked back with a puzzled look on her face and said, "So, there's a little girl in your bathroom?" Yeah, she hangs out there. Blonde hair, curls, pink hair, yeah. You know that's not really a little girl, do you? I almost threw up. I was so relieved and terrified and excited and ready to run out of the house screaming. She wouldn't use my bathroom for the rest of the week and started using it as little as possible without pissing off my parents, who did not want to believe. Typical. Eventually we moved out and I could not have been happier. I distanced myself from it mentally as much as I could. Then when I was 18, I took another friend on a road trip to pack up a few things I left in the house. My parents hadn't managed to sell it and wouldn't for 5 more years. The minute we got on the property, my friend seemed uncomfortable. When we came around the bend in that long, steep driveway, he went completely white. I could tell something was wrong, but he insisted he was okay. So we got to work. After a while, he asked to use the bathroom, and I directed him to mine. Not 20 seconds after he left, he came running back, gasping for breath, and slammed the bedroom door behind him. He started babbling about a little blonde girl who wasn't really a little girl. All of a sudden, he went dead still, looked me in the eye, and very solemnly said, "She's not happy with you. You left, and you weren't supposed to." We threw whatever we could, grabbing 2 trips in my car after I walked him to another bathroom and waited outside the door and got the fuck out of there at top speed. I feel like, ugh, that sounds terrifying. I'm into supernatural stuff, and we all know that if it's a little girl, 99.9% of the time, it is not a little girl, man. It's a demon trying to be like, win some sympathy with you and being like, "Oh,
I'm just this sweet, adorable little girl. I would never hurt you, darling."
and then like they come and like hunt your ass. But yeah, the first thing I feel with like more like urban legends, like, oh, as a parent I can tell, like, sure, like Halloween is kind of like one of those times where it's like, oh shit, this could happen. But like the last two I feel like make my heart race more, just because it's like it actually happened to people and I'm like, holy shit. Of course there's like hundreds and hundreds and thousands of like Halloween stories, because like Halloween's dope. Do you believe the last 2 stories are real or fake? Because I'm like, holy fuck, I always believe when it's like, when people tell their stories, because I'm like, yo, do you believe in ghosts? Why or why not? Like this video if you want more urban legends and theories. I already have 2 down below and I'll link them down below. Definitely keep watching for my 2 other videos, which will be Halloween related as well. My next video that I will upload will be me following a makeup tutorial based on whatever Halloween stuff I can find and seems the easiest. If you want, you can follow me on social media. Everything I have is at _GomezLiz. And or if you want to follow my TikTok, _GomezLiz95. Comment, like, subscribe for more random shit, because that's what I'm here for, folks. Thanks for watching. Bye. See you next time.
Tell me pretty lies, look me in the face. Tell me that you love me.